Hello, my awesome students. Welcome to this intermediate tutorial where we will create this Stickblender. For that, we will use different modeling techniques. We will have a look at freeform modeling. We will use surface modeling and, of course, also some solid modeling. And yeah, that's necessary. Otherwise, it would be quite tricky to create these forms, but yeah, we will use the best out of every possibility we have in Fusion. And yeah, let's get right into it. We will, of course, as usual, start with the canvas. Insert my computer. And we need the Stickblender front. I will add it at this here. This is my front view. I just scale it a little bit, hit OK, and do the rest with calibrate. And the image is from somewhere here to somewhere here at the top. 395 millimeters high. And edit the canvas so I can move it, position it somewhere that this is more or less the center, and also I put these guys here at the bottom line, perspective distortion, but we're doing our best. Okay, and insert another one. Then we take the Stickblender side. We will insert it at this plane here. Just scale it a little bit and do the rest as usual with calibrate. Switch to my right view and start here at the top point, going down somewhere, this height here, also 395. Edit the canvas and I have a look here in the perspective view if it fits more or less together. So the height here, the position of these top points should be together, and here at the bottom, yes, not too bad. It's also cutting here a little bit at the bottom line, but that's fully fine. Yeah, as you know, it's just a rough guidance, and I'll give you some measurements, of course. And then position it that it is here more or less in the middle of this blender. Okay. Save your project. Stickblender. Save. We will start now with a new component. Assemble new component. I will this will be the actual blender, so we start with the metal part here at the bottom. Parent selected, yes, it's fine. Okay. And we create a sketch on this view here. And let's draw some lines. From the origin, starting one line, actually I will take it 170 millimeters. Well, this is just a construction line, so press X on the keyboard. Then another construction line, also starting from the origin, This one will be 34. Also hit X for construction. Then another one here, this will be 10. And another one going down here. Let's take it a little bit higher. Of course, it's tricky here to get the perfect form. So it depends on where you positioned your image. And then with a 3-point arc, we will connect this point with that point and try to find here perfect shape. Don't do it here that it's going outwards. Okay, so keep it here just a little bit inside this line here. See, on the bottom is more or less straight, but actually it's, yeah, more or less fine. And we will do a fillet on this point here, just 10 or something, seems fine. Good, so we will make also this one, oops, go out of the fillet, also a construction line. So actually our profile is just the outer line here, because we don't make a solid. We will use freeform here for this, because this nice parts here are very easy with that. So finish the sketch. And then we will use here this freeform tool the first time. So hit it to open up a new menu, because we get a new menu there. And there we have actually also some stuff like extrude, revolve, sweep, loft that you know from the others. And yeah, the only difference you will see in a second, the purple color, of course. But now let's do a revolve. Select the profile that we have here. The axis should be, of course, the center line. And you see here the difference between a normal surface, just blend out the canvas, is that we can define faces here in all directions, and we can move them afterwards. So as you might know it from Maya or any other tools where you can move faces and vertices, this is the perfect control for that. So let's see how many faces we will need to get our result. You see, when they are too less, they can't fit the form anymore, and that's the reason why you should use as less as possible, but and as much as necessary. I take 8 here. This seems maybe 7 is also enough. Let's check if 6, no. With 6, no, it's too less. 7 is fine here for me. And more important in our case, we don't take 8 here, we take 24. The reason why you will see in a second, because I will use these faces to create this twisted form, and 24 is because we need actually 6 kind of twist forms, and yeah, we need 24 to do this now in a nice way. Operation new body, yeah, okay. Then we will create some symmetry, because this will make our life a little bit easier. And for that, go here to Symmetry, Circular, Internal. Then select one of the faces down here. Actually, it doesn't matter which one. And now Fusion gives us options how many circular symmetry options we want to have. And you can select them. Okay, do I want 24, 12, 8, 6, and we want 6. And yeah, but the clicking is a little bit buggy, so we will change here to 6-sided. If this still doesn't work, let's try the other options. See, when I switch to 8-sided, I get 8 green lines around here. And I switch back to 6-sided, and now it works. Don't know, maybe Fusion sometimes a little bit weird. That's what I want. Okay, 6 green lines here, and then hit OK. And now you see that. And what we can do now is we will take one, and you see all the others are more or less automatically selected. And I take 2 faces now, and then the third in this row of 4, and press E for edit. You see that also here, edit form. You have a lot of stuff here we will maybe use in different ways. Edit form, it's actually like M when you use some other stuff. And you can push it inside a little bit and move it, and see what's happening. Everything is going with it. And what I also do is I take here in the center point, I can scale it, and you see what we are aiming at. Then I'm pushing it up a little bit and go more and more inside. And when you hit Control 1, 2, 3, this is the option how you can change between actually the edgy mode and the smooth mode, so that you can see, okay, what is going on here. I find it easier when I see the form a little better. And then I take just the lower one and push this also even more inside. Okay, it's the first thing. Then the second one, I will check here in the front view with the canvas how, okay, actually it's not going so high, so I'm going down a little bit more with this one. And maybe I just take, you can select just the edge here and pull this up. Also this one, so that this is my first step of forming. And then we need a little twist. And for that, you can take, actually because the twisting is easier when we take the whole thing, and actually because when we move that, it works, but it moves the whole thing out instead of rotating. So when we double click, for example, we get the rotation here in the middle. Oops. And you have to be careful what you select, because what I need is the rotation on the floor, this one. This is what I want. So rotate it -20 degrees, the whole thing. And and I take here the second row. Be careful that you get the one which is rotating in this direction, and we will rotate -10 degrees. And so we have actually a nice little form. And let's check with switch to Control 3. How does this look like? Not too bad, actually. Maybe we need even more twisting. I also take that one. So that's the way you can change. Of course, yeah, not much, no, I'll leave that. The forming. And I also select all the 6 now separately because I want the rotation in the middle, and just rotate them a little bit more. Yeah. No, don't select the face, just the edges. And selecting is a little bit tricky, I know, and I rotate this again -5 degrees. Take this one, push it a little bit apart. You can play around a little bit, of course. And what we also do, and why symmetry is so fine, we can now insert an edge loop because we want a harder edge here at the bottom. Insert edge, and we want, let's see if this works. I have to go out of. I have the wrong edges selected, sorry. I select these two, modify, insert edge. Yeah, now it works. Let's see. And we need here one on the right side, and we make 1 point. -0.1. Okay, and select this and modify, insert edge, and we have to go in this direction, and there we need 0.1. That means just going a little bit inside. Hit OK, and you see everywhere does this edge loop come, and that's cool. And we will switch back here in our smooth mode, and we will do just a little tweak. So take one of the edges here, and I just pull them down a little bit, checking the edge view that nothing is bad here. And the reason why I do this, because I want actually a perfectly straight line down here, and so I pull it down just a little bit more than my axis. Okay, and then I will go back, and so I'm happy, finish form. So let's see that I look at my body here. I will reverse the normal, no, wrong menu. So when I finish the freeform, it is a surface body, or it depends actually if you use the closed profile or an open one, and we have an open one, so we just have a surface. And so I reverse the normal here, that the gray one is outside, and I will cut this round edges a little bit with the trim tool. So I activate the trim tool, and the bottom floor here on this, so it cuts away a little bit of all, or you can select them, all this stuff here, so that it is straight and not that much round. Then hit OK. So I trimmed this away, and now I can thicken this whole thing. So give it a material thickness. So I go to create thicken and select the body, and I will go 1 millimeter inside and new body, hit OK. And now you see we have this symbol here, what means this is a solid body now. And not too bad. Now have a look at my canvas. I have to rotate it on this side, back view. Of course, it's a little bit twisted in another direction, but yeah, that's what we end up with. So switch it off. If you want to adjust it even more, when you say you're not happy, then you can just go back to the freeform mode, hit edit, and when you think, for example, here this is going too far out in, I want this higher, or a little bit more twisted, you can, so I have this one, that one, twist a little bit more if you like. Hit finish form, and Fusion calculates everything that it is now here in the form. Or add it just a little bit, maybe this, I don't want it so deep, just okay. Finish form. Yeah, I like it a little bit better. And we will add also here the position where the blade is actually mounted. And for that we will create an offset plane. From the bottom floor, construct offset plane, as already selected it, and this will be 21 millimeters, and just switch off here, no, not the whole thing, just the body. And here we will create a new sketch, where it is here. So activate my body again, and what I do is I draw a circle here in the middle, which is actually bigger than the whole thing. Doesn't matter actually how big it is, just a little bit. Finish the sketch. Then I go back here in my solid model and extrude it, I don't know, 1 millimeter. And now important, create a new body from this. Okay, why? Because now we have to do a little bit of cut operations, and for that, oh, no combine, we have to split the body, and the body to split is the cylinder, and it should be splitted with this blender form. What you get here, let's see if this works. Yes. Now this body here is separated from the inner one, so we have a very complex form created very easily, and we just get rid of this outer ring with remove. And what we do is we join this now together. I also don't want the lines here, and when I join this, combine and select, it's already selected, both target body, tool body, join, okay. And just another sketch. We want to do the blade in this, but we use this sketch here, edit sketch, and create another circle with $14 millimeters in diameter. Finish the sketch, and we do a little extrude here down -8 millimeter, and we will taper it a little bit. You see this kind of tapering form, -5, and we will also join that, and we will create a hole in there with this one, create hole. I already selected it. So I move it, it snaps. Good. Also look here from the bottom. It snaps to the center. And I can't take the measurement here quite well from the center hole type I use here. The drill point with a flat. And we use here 10, so don't know. No, let's use 5. It's fine. So then we have place to put the blade somewhere then afterwards. So, well, that's actually the first part. Let's switch to the second one. So let's create a new component for the next part. New component. Handle, or don't know how this thing is called. Parent should be this one, okay? Always be aware of that. And but it didn't work. So assemble new component. Now I have this one selected, okay. Okay, good. So be sure that this is the same hierarchy position than Blender 1, otherwise just move it and let it drop over the name Stickblender, and then it's in this hierarchy. So blend away this one and get my canvas here again. And what we create now, because on the side view, of course, we have this freeform, or this form here on the back. It's also a perfect thing that we use here, create form. And now we will actually work from a cylinder. And we will start sketching here on the bottom floor, and I select here the origin as center point, and we need 55 millimeters, and then we can just drop it or stretch it. The diameter faces of 8, this is fine, and the faces at the height I will change here to 6. I can adjust them later anyway. Okay, then I go to my right view, and with M I can move the whole body up. Okay, and now I can stretch it even more and move the vertices in position. So what is important? When you double click, then you select the whole edge ring, and always use E here for edit the form. Of course, you have here some selection options. Actually, I never use them, but here you can grow or shrink selections. See that? Let's try. That's growing or shrinking. Loop, grow, shrink. Yeah, just try a little bit. You may need them. I never need them, actually. So just double click and move it down. And when I want to scale it, I use the one in the middle, because be aware when you use this scaling tool in the orthographic view, for example, like this, then it is scaling, but it is only scaling in one direction. That's not what we want. So go back, and when you want to scale such forms, always use the one in the middle, because this is scaling all over in every direction. And so on scaling this up, I need, no, not the right view. I want to work here with the front view. And when I take it also on this position, and everything is scaling fine. Okay, never use that. Then this one, I'm just, actually it's enough C when you just push this down, and it's fine. Actually, this one I'm moving here up a little bit, and also that one I will need here some more stuff, especially in the side view. And always control in the one view if this is everything's fine and you're not overstretching something. So control 1, 2, 3, remember. And now we will switch into the side view, because now this will be fun here. The first thing that you have to do is to rotate this one, and I think 20, 25 or 20. Let's say 22 degrees are fine. And you see that it is a little bit, it's not straight anymore, of course, because of the rotation, but you are not allowed to make it, to scale it, because we need this exact circle form with 55 millimeters. Then later for this, for the button which rotates the speed, the only thing you are allowed to do is to move that. That this is actually straight again. I'm just hiding the canvas. Yeah, it's then smaller here in the back. That's also in the canvas. You see that is not, it's more inside here on this. So you are allowed to move it. And try to move it as straight as possible. And the best way to see this is in the one mode, because there is no distortion. And so move it that this seems to be more or less right, straight. I think I'm perfectly done. You also could orient here on the grid in the back, and that's fine. Then we will add these forms here, but I won't change here something in this area. So I'm just using the points here. And actually the best thing that we could do is use a symmetry again. Be sure that nothing is selected. Then switch here my view and go to symmetry, mirror, internal, and then select the left face and the right face, and you see we immediately get a green line which is showing our mirror plane, and hit OK. And the cool thing is when I select one point and move it, it's also moving on the other side. Okay, so let's do this. I'll go here on the right side and I move here this point, but be sure that you also, I move it in the front. I won't touch these two, okay? Only that one, but be sure that in the front view, this is still more or less straight. Let's see. Oh, actually we can adjust here also a little bit. Switch on my free mode again. That this point is going inside. And maybe we will need some more edge loops than here. So go, just check this one and this. Yeah, here we go. Always be sure I'm switching here to the one mode to see that nothing goes too weird. Then I guess I insert two more edge loops. I select this one, then go to modify, insert edge, and actually I can do, yeah, I will do somewhere here in the middle, 2.5, and again insert edge on the other direction because I want one here somewhere around, doesn't matter. And let's see if, because I won't take those. E for edit. Always check, yeah, the other side is also working fine. See that this is, of course, the backside isn't always here the best, but try to follow the form as good as possible. I think that's not so bad. I'm not moving it up and down so that it keeps a straight line here. No, I think I don't need to form that. Let's check the front view. It's going up here, so don't touch these, okay? Try to do it with that one. Maybe this is enough. And here on the top, I could also move this a little bit. Not too bad, actually. The reason why I won't touch these two in the front, because we need to stay quite smooth here for then later on editing this, and I don't want here any distortion in this area, so everything is only done with this, some of the points here in the back, and we're fine actually with this. So when I go hide my stuff here, or maybe just a tiny little bit. I'll check here the front view. It's not too much going inside. Maybe we could insert another edge loop here at the top. Or not. No, we don't. More edge loops sometimes make our life harder than it could be, so we could finish our form. And we'll close this with, go back here to surface, create a patch where you can select this edge here, and yeah, new body. I will reverse the normal so that it's right, it's gray, and also here on the bottom I also create a patch. This one is selected, yep, okay, and now I have surface here, also reverse that. You see this here in the bodies that I have 1, 2, 3. So no, don't. Just selected all the bodies for reversing. I just wanted the one here in the bottom, okay. And the next step, we will stitch this stuff together. So activate stitch and select all the bodies. I get my green line, so everything's fine. And now I have a solid body in this handle. And now we are going into the detail. So switch here to my front view, activate the canvas again, and create a new sketch. On the front plane, of course. And first of all, we create a middle line, draw this from the origin, just that we get a little bit of orientation. Press X to make it a construction line. And then we will use some nice tool. I like very much, and this is called slot, center to center slot, and because I'm using it quite often, I will pin it to the toolbar now, center to center. And then I would just try to find here the one, the second, and then I scale it up. Of course I can change it afterwards. We need here diameter of 34, and when you want to move the center point, activate it, press M to move it. So here the one, it's fine. It's the first one. Then let's check a second one, and I will position it here on the one I got from the outer line. This is my first, the second one somewhere here. And this has diameter of 24. When you're not happy with the position, select it, press M and push it down a little bit. Good. Then the next one I will do with offset. So just select this one and let's go inside. I take -0.5. Okay. Then another one also, so a normal circle. I select here the center point again. I got here, and this one I make 15. And a last slot, because this is stretched up a little bit. And here just have tiny measurement between, and also make it 15. Oh, my positioning was quite okay. And yes, that's it so far. And finish the sketch. Then create a second sketch. And now we will use the side view. I'll switch on my canvas again to see what to do. Then we will create some this line and also this, and we will use all this then later. So the first thing is I create more or less free now a line somewhere going here. Of course it can be a little bit longer than, because we will cut it away anyway later. So something like this. Then we will create also a line. Or do we project one? Yes, let's do a projection before, because I want this line here to use it. So create projection, project, and I select this line, selected, one selected, okay. Now I have my purple line here, and I can use this as guidance or as for fillet later. So just leave it. I hide my body here so that I'm not too confused. And now we use a 3-point arc. and I set the beginning somewhere here. Be sure that you not touch the line, because you want to have the full freedom to move it afterwards, maybe a little bit. So somewhere here, and somewhere here, the next point, and then there will be the arc. And you see it's not perfect, and so you just take the points and move them a little bit so that we got a little bit more the line following. Yeah, that looks fine. Be sure it has to cross the line, both lines. So, but now I'm happy. Then let's check a fillet. So down here, I think a fillet of 9 would be nice. And again, another fillet, but you see, I can't select the purple line here. And the reason why is because this is just a projected line and I can't work with it actually. So what I do is, you see when you roll over it, there comes this projection constraint, and you can click on it that it's getting blue and just delete it, and you see now my line is getting blue and I can work with it. So I just deleted the constraint, and now I can create a fillet also there, and I think there we take 15 or something. Yeah, okay. Just activate my body to see. Good. That's our first sketch we need, but we use the sketch that we are in to create the next one. And for this gray part here, I will create a circle, and or we could also create an arc and mirror. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I take a circle in this case. So I'm just guessing somewhere here, the starting point, and see how, okay, it was too far. Maybe a radius of 100, and I'm just moving. So got here in the center and move it up. 100 was not so bad actually. Then I'm offsetting this. -9 looks also fine. And or maybe just 8. Let's take 8. Okay, and then another one, another circle. I will place also here in the middle and pull it up, maybe 60, could not be that bad, and hit the center, press M to move it, but I think that's fine here. And now get rid of the parts I don't need, and I will draw a line also somewhere here just to cut the parts away. It's nothing else. So then go to the trim tool and let's delete all the stuff we don't need. Also here in between we don't need them. Also this one and that, and then delete this, 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 and this. So this will be just our cutting profile. That's the reason why here it is completely, yeah, we don't care about that. Only the form here is necessary. So finish the sketch. And let's see what we can do now. Switch off my canvas. The first thing that we use is the lower one because this is a little bit easier. Oh no, we forgot one thing. Sorry, get back in the sketch. Edit sketch. This little ellipse thing here, I will also create just right there. So I create an ellipse, center point somewhere, maybe here, and let's make it 6 millimeters. If you're not happy with the position, just moving it a little bit. Not so bad. Of course, you can also do measurements when you want to do it really exact, but I'm happy with the form in that way. Good, now finish the sketch. Then select now let's do the extrude, and now select the profiles. Need everything here, okay, the whole profile, also the inner ellipse, and then do a symmetric extrusion and extrude that far that it goes definitely outward. And then please we create a new body because we want to keep all the tools and do the cutting away in a second. So new body, it's fine. And then do a split body here. The body to split is this one. The splitting tool is that. And here we go. The same as we did here at the bottom. And now we can delete here the outer part, remove, and we have a nice inner one here. And to give it a little offset, we just go activate here, press pull. So be sure just deactivate the other. So press pull. I select this face and give it just a little offset, maybe 1 millimeter. Maybe it's even too much. 0.7 or something. Yeah, looks nice. And for this little ellipse offset parts here, we will just hit the split face tool. Remember, here it is, menu, split face. Then we select these faces. The splitting tool is the ellipse here in the middle, and you see it goes right through in both directions. That's absolutely what we want. Hit OK. And now we can just do a press pull here. Let's check if we can do both sides at once. Yeah, it works. We take 2 millimeters, or no, maybe 1.5. Yeah, that's enough. Okay. And we'll do just a little bit of filleting. Fillet this, also this one. 1.3 or something. Oh. 1. Fusion has a problem here with too small radius, maybe. That's the reason why I can't calculate the fillet. Let's see how far we can get. 7. Okay, now it works. 9. 1. Okay. Back to 0.9. Yeah, it depends then on, you see here it's get really small, and then there is maybe the end of calculation that you could do this. And hit OK. We could also do some small fillets on the here, 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 here. Just tiny ones. 0.5 seem nice, and I also do some fillets on the inner side of these buttons here, and I think we can't go too far because the other one is right away. Let's see how far we can get. 0.5, I take 0.4. So I have a nice little button design. Then we will use the split face tool again. Split face. This is the one to split. And our splitting tool is now this line here. We just created before. Okay. And yeah, perfect. Looks nice. And we do the same here. We take this faces and do a little press pull of 0.5 millimeters to get a slight offset. I'm not sure what he's, yeah, it looks a little bit weird. I can make a cut later again. Nice. And then we will project this stuff here, or do even the face splitting again. So split the face. This one. The splitting tools. Can I? Faces to split. Yes. I'm not sure if I could maybe select more. No. I will do it separately. Hit OK. Second splitting. Faces to split this one. Select the splitting tool to activate my this one, double click. OK. Then again, split face. This one, select the next line. You have to rotate it a little bit, then the OK works. And last, no, not last. Again, split face, and one splitting tool, the circle. Okay, and now the last time, split this, select this. Okay, now we split it a lot. And we also do some offset work here. Press pull. Face is already selected. Also do just a tiny one, 0.5. Okay. Then this one. Press pull. 0.5. Move it. Then OK. And the buttons, we will do also press pull, but move it in the other direction because they are a little bit more inwards. So we go -1 to the inside. But now we have one challenge because the buttons are more curvy than they actually are. So we need a little bit of tricks. The first thing we need is we need a new sketch, and this one will be on that side plane. And here we go, sketch 10, and we need a projection here, and for that now we use intersect. So where our sketching plane is intersecting the geometry, there we got a line. That's what we need. So you see, when I roll over my body, this red line is popping up, and this is the thing we need. So I click here on the selection filter, here's bodies active, and hit OK. And when we just hide the bodies, we have this stuff here. Then we will create some 3-point arcs between these points. So number 1, 2, and 3. So I just check the middle and the guidance I got. Then another 3-point arc here, here, and the guidance that pops up again. Okay. And then it will be a little bit tricky. I activate here in my sketch now the topic 3D sketch. The reason why I do this is actually just saving time in sketches. So I can sketch now in any direction I want and not only in the one I were in, the flat one. So when 3D sketch is active, I'm again in 3-point arc, and now I'm sketching curves here in this direction, and the first point to hit is here, this one which is snapping. I'll rotate my view a little bit. Then when it comes to the other side, you see when you roll here, then somewhere there comes this dark blue dotted line. That means I'm in one horizontal line. So this is my second point. Be aware that you click here exactly on the black line here, and then maybe rotate it to see it better. We have to snap here to the front blue line we just created, and maybe it's easier to see. Yeah. So you see this little triangle popping up. That means I'm in the middle of the one, and that's our third point to click. And now we have a nice curve here that will define or help defining our button later. And we do the same thing here. 1 point. Second point, it's a little bit easier because Fusion got some guidance here. And actually, now I don't need the center point. I somewhere take a point on that line. Then another one. First point, second point, and somewhere here. And then I finish my sketch. What I've got now is some guidance lines that I will need. And what we do, you see here, it's not perfectly in the middle, but doesn't matter, it helps us anyway. Then I select the faces here and hit delete. You see immediately the body, the solid body, changes back to a surface body, but don't mind, we will fix this later. And also the second one, I delete that. And now we rebuild this with our helping lines. And for that, switch to surface modeling here. And we'll create actually a patch. And the boundary edges is here the outer line. And then there is an option called interior rails points. Then we select, go here to the select thing. Then we select the first one. And I also want to select the second one, but it jumps right back here. I have to click on this one selected again so that I can select a second one. Now I can select it and see how this is now bending here all over my helping lines, and that's what we want. Hit OK. See what's the goal here? And do this again. So get my sketch back, patch, select here this edges. See that chaining is enabled so that all the things are selected at once. Then interior rails, I click here and select the first arc, click again on select, second arc, click again, third. And see, you have to move it around, and then the OK button will be active. And there is a surface already created. It's a little bit hard to see because it is reversed. So I click on the surface and say modify, reverse, normals. I have the one selected, hit OK. And when I'm hiding my sketch, I have my nice curved buttons here in this area. And so that I get a better rendering, always use fillets, and this is what I will do now. A little bit of filleting work, but before we can do this, of course we have to stitch all the stuff together again. So I select this body, and this one. And oh no, not the one in the middle. I need this later. Just hide that. So that, and that one. Stitch, you see here my green lines where to stitch, hit OK, and now I have a solid body again, handle, and I go back to my solid menu, go into my fillet mode and get some fillets done. I take all the outer lines here, one, that one, that one. Now this one I will do a little bit bigger. That's the reason why I keep it here. I just do, let's see now, not sure if it works actually, especially in the areas here, but 0.1 is working. So I just get a tiny little edge. Okay. Then my button fillet stuff, this one, that one, I can definitely make a little bit bigger. Yeah, that looks nice. And also maybe I'm trying here on the inside edges, because this is actually one rubber part. Oh, it works fine, 0.3 or maybe just 2. And also, of course, here in the top, I forgot one. Go a little bit bigger. Okay, not so big. Let's check in the canvas. That's the 3. It looks fine. Oh, actually, see that this is got a little bit too thin here. Let's see if we could make this a little bit thicker, or if, I'm not sure if this works, but let's try to go back into the form, but I save here first. Edit. And hit E to make this a little bit thicker, something like that. Hit OK. Now finish form. Now he calculates everything, computing all the steps afterwards. Yeah, it worked. Here we go. What I do is also I use here this to cut out the geometry. So get here to the combine mode, select the target body and the tool body, and say cut, but keep tools. So now I got a hole cut in, but it keeps my stuff here. And so I can also create a little fillet here where this goes inward. Also a nice little detail. And to finish off our Stickblender, the last thing that we need is our speed button here at the top. And for that, we will create a new sketch on this plane here. So select this face, then right-click, create sketch. And it's not jumping automatically there, so you can select the face and say look at, then it's perfectly placed. Then we'll create a circle, and Fusion is automatically searching on the middle line here, but we don't get a center point, so we're just guessing more or less and then move it into place. So I take here a diameter of 58 and see how it fits. Not too perfect, but I just go to the center and move it a little bit, and yeah, looks fine. So it's overlapping here, this one, and here it's also fine. Just tiny little offset. I can't use an offset here because of this kind of structure here. So finish the sketch. Then we take the one and extrude it. Be sure when you hover over that also this is selected, okay, and not only the one here. Create a new body, and we will do it here. Now let's do it 1 millimeter. No, it's too much. 0.7. Okay, just a tiny little white ring. Then we create a new sketch on this plane. So select the face, create sketch, look at. Look at. No. Now it's finding a center point when we start a new circle or just an offset. I create a new circle and see here Fusion is finding a center point. I will use that and make a diameter of 40 millimeters. Finish the sketch. And now we are extruding separate parts. The first one, extrude the outer ring. Be sure it is set to new body because it should be separate things. We will define some fillets then afterwards. And we are checking 1 centimeter in the height here. Hit OK. We'll do this again with edit or activate my sketch again and hide the last body with the inner part, also 1 centimeter, and be aware that this is also a new body. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. And before we do filleting stuff, we have to give this a little rounding, because this isn't actually flat, it has a bend in both directions. So that's tricky again. No, more or less tricky. So we need again a new sketch, and we'll get here side plane. So my look at doesn't work. Then we need a projection again. We take actually the intersect of, we need these two, just that we get a rough guidance. Okay. And I hide my bodies. And what I need now is an arc. And I will draw it somehow. I need a center point. Let's see. Yeah, it finds a center point here. That's good. So go to the line and check here where the triangle pops up. And I will define here a helping line, which you see it goes actually parallel to the others. And we will use that for 9 millimeters. And then we will do an offset. Where we have it here. I switch off the chain selection because I need just an offset from. Can I use both? No. I take here -6. Okay, then I will create an arc from here to here, and be sure there's a position where it snaps in and it will be more or less tensioned. I will make it tension anyway later, so somewhere here. Then I will mirror this to the side. Mirror's line is this one. Okay. Then I have to make it tensioned. 1, 2. Now we have a nice bent line here. And I actually will delete stuff I don't need, except that. And actually I don't need the second one, but I needed it for the tension constraint. So, but we will remove that. So we just need this half. Finish the sketch. Finish the sketch. Let's see if this works. If we just use a surface for cutting, so we create surface revolve with select the profile with only the line, select the axis, this one, yes, and hide my body, unhide my bodies, but hide these two. You see here the surface which pops up, which is bent in both directions. Okay, and then let's see if we could split the body with this surface. So go back to body, then split body, select both of the bodies, select splitting tool. Yeah, it works. This is here the inside, and maybe we extend a little bit so that everything will be cut away in a good matter, and hit OK. And now we will delete that one, remove, and that one, remove. And here we go. We have a nice rounded top. And now we can define our fillets. And let's start here with, oops, that's the wrong one. That one, and that one. And 0.3. Not much. Let's leave it at 2. Then Here I will actually make a chamfer down here, equal distance. Looks good. Then a fillet here. Uh-oh. Ah, we still have the surface here. Okay, so I just hide it because I don't need it anymore, or you can remove it, of course. Then set tiny little fillets on this area. Okay, not so tiny, so that I can see actually that these are separate parts. And the last one also 0.3. Hit OK. And so our last part is finished. Of course, you can make here the connection to the cable. You can see it in the images, or creating the blade. I will leave that for now and do a quick rendering. But yeah, that was the modeling of our Stickblender, quite detailed. I hope you got along and everything worked fine. And just for rounding up the project, I did a little render setup just using steel materials, clear acrylic here in the top, and some soft rubber here assigned on faces, and a decal here for the logo. Yeah, that's it actually, and just tried to do different views. Yeah, that's it. So hope you had fun and have a nice day.